On August 23, 2007, there was a deposit from to July 27, 2007, there was a withdrawal from the mother account in the amount of 100,000, which was deposited in another account, 2804. And on August 31, 2007, there was a deposit of 100,000, 494.69. On August 23, 2007, there was a withdrawal of 20,076.44 to a different account, 3183193. And on September 3, 2007, there was a deposit to the mother account in the amount of 20,000. I think this reads 682.83. On September 3, 2007, there was a withdrawal from the mother account in the amount of 40,082.93 and deposited to a new account. And on March 3, 2008, from this new account was withdrawn the amount of 40,973.18 and deposited to the mother account. On August 9, 2007, there was a withdrawal from the mother account in the amount of 296,728.99 and it was deposited to a new account, 2987. And on November 8, 2007, the amount of 299,937.86 was withdrawn from this new account and returned to the mother account. On July 31, 2007, the amount of 130,443.32 was withdrawn from the mother amount and deposited to a new account. And on March 4, 2008, the amount of 133,547.67 was withdrawn from the new account and returned to the mother account. On August 31, 2007, the amount of 100,494,000.69 was withdrawn from the mother account and transferred to a new account. And on February 29, 2008, from this new account was withdrawn the amount of 102,634.97 and deposited to the mother account. On November 9, 2007, the amount of 299,937.86 was withdrawn and deposited to a new account. On December 21, 2007, the amount of 50,000 was withdrawn from the mother account and deposited to a new account. And on January 25, 2008, the amount of 50,224.83 was withdrawn from the new account and returned to the mother account. Next. Still the same account, 8104. This is for 2008. On March 5, 2008, the amount of $30,300 was deposited to the mother account. On April 17, 2008, the amount of $24,000 was deposited to the mother account. And on July 31, 2008, the amount of $30,000 was deposited to the mother account. On January 28, 2008, the amount of 50,000 was 50,224.83 was withdrawn from the mother account and transferred to a new account. And from this new account was withdrawn the amount of 51,167.70 on August 5, 2008, and it remained withdrawn. On March 3, 2008, the amount of 143,608.15 was withdrawn from the mother account and deposited to a new account. And from this new account was withdrawn the amount of 144,947.79 on July 7, 2008. On March 5, 2008, the amount of 175,000 was withdrawn from the mother account and transferred to a new account. And from this new account was withdrawn the amount of 176,561.40 on July 9, 2007. On April 17, 2008, the amount of 20,000 was withdrawn from the mother account and deposited to a new account. And from this new account was withdrawn the amount of 24,102.63 on June 26, 2008.
Madam Ombudsman, am I right that the PowerPoint presentation you are reading from now, a hard copy was already sent to the Senate? Have we furnished a copy of that report to the Senate?
I recall that the Senate, at the closing hours of yesterday's hearings, expected us to deliver a hard copy, and I think we did. That was my instruction.
That being so, perhaps,
Yes.
Madam,
Yes,
Madam
Your Honor.
Ombudsman, that being so, perhaps it would be better if we will just mark the PowerPoint presentation in evidence and to dispense with your reading of the details, because you might be overly taxed by that, and I don't think it's necessary because the senator judges can examine the contents of the report yourself.
Your Honor, please. Your Honor, please.
He is saying something.
Your Honor, please.
Yes,
I'm not clear with the manifestation made by the Honorable Counsel for the prosecution, Your Honor, which is the evidence sought to be marked. The representations made on the screen, the origin of these representations, or what? We wanted to be clear, Your Honor, before we go into further questioning the witness in connection with them.
why don't you agree? If you want to use the document presented yesterday by the Ombudsman, which is allegedly the report of AMLA, as the document to be presented here as an exhibit. But on the other hand, this power presentation is now a part of the testimony of the Ombudsman. And so this court would be interested to have a copy of this document.
The source of all this power representation, Your Honor?
Yeah.
I'm just asking for a clarification. I'm
Well,
not
actually,
objecting.
these are actually culled. If I understood the Ombudsman correctly, culled from the records
Submitted.
that she submitted yesterday and marked as an exhibit by the prosecution.
Yes, Your
Am
Honor.
I correct in this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
So
I was puzzled because the documents shown to the witness yesterday, we already marked, Your Honor. So I was trying to clarify only. I'm not objecting, Your Honor.
precisely the Ombudsman, my understanding of what happened was the Ombudsman testified, and in the course of her testimony referred to a report of AMLA, which became the basis of her letter, if I understood correctly, requiring the Chief Justice to reply in 72 hours. And that was the subject of the examination in chief of the Defense Counsel, whether the Ombudsman informed the Chief Justice about the $10 million dollar deposit allegedly owned by him. And at that point, the matter was resolved, and then the counsel closed his direct examination of the ombudsman, and the prosecution took over to cross-examine. And at that point, they have marked, actually, the prosecution marked the alleged report of AMLA presented and testified to by the ombudsman before this court, and the Honorable Ombudsman requested the permission of this court if she could explain further the contents of that alleged report of AMLA by way of showing us a power presentation of the movement of the monies reflected in that report of AMLA. Am I correct in this, Madam?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ombudsman? Yeah.
Yes, Your
That's
Honor.
the whole gist of the testimony of the Ombudsman. And that's why this chair requested that this court be provided with a hard copy of the power presentation, and the defense also requested a hard copy of the power presentation, and thereafter the prosecution also requested a hard copy of the power presentation. So all of us requested a copy of the power presentation.
Clarified, Your Honor.
All right.
If Your Honor, please, the PowerPoint presentation.
PowerPoint. I'm sorry, I'm not literate enough in these things, you know. PowerPoint presentation. Okay.
If Your Honor, please, the PowerPoint presentation that has been made and is still being made by the Honorable Ombudsman is entitled Analysis of Dollar Account, consisting of 25 slides. I confirm with the Clerk of Court that the Senator judges have each been furnished with copies of this so-called Analysis of Dollar Account. And the copy which has been handed to me by the Honorable Ombudsman, each page bears the stamp, certified true copy, Deputy Clerk of Court, the impeachment proceedings, and there are initials. There's one initial over each stamp of Deputy Clerk of Court. May we request that this be marked as Exhibit 11Y for the prosecution, Your Honor?
Mark it accordingly.
Madam Ombudsman, you testified a few minutes ago in reply to the query of the presiding judge that $769,681 were withdrawn from an account of the Chief Justice in the month of December 2011. You confirm that?
Yes, sir.
Can you advise us or tell us how much was withdrawn from December 12 forward?
No more. It did not go back anymore. I mean, the data that was sourced did no longer indicated where that 769,000 plus went.
So you won't be able to tell if it was done on December 12?
December 15.
15.
Yes.
I see. So that amount of 769,681 was withdrawn on December 15.
Yes.
You testified yesterday that there were significant accounts with respect to certain significant events. Do you recall that, Madam
Yes, sir.
Ombudsman?
Yes, sir.
Can you clarify what you meant by that?
Well, what I meant was that there were significant deposits and withdrawals on significant events. When I say events, I am referring to, let's say, 2004 election, 2007 election, and during the period onset of the impeachment proceedings.
For the elections of 2004, Madam Ombudsman, which you consider to be a significant event, what was the corresponding significant figure?
Let me look at my código.
Beg Your Honor, the question do not appear clear to us. May we request for a reforming of the question, Your Honor?
No,
Let me have my copy of.
what is vague about it?
Well, there are various incidents mentioned in the question, Your Honor. We would like to know what is the gist of the question, Your Honor.
Will the good gentleman of the prosecution repeat the question so that we will understand the nature of the objection?
I asked, Mr. President, what were the significant periods pertaining to the significant events which the Honorable Ombudsman mentioned? What are the figures?
She mentioned
Election.
the as events the election of 2004,
That's right, Your Honor.
and then the impeachment filed in this court,
Yes, Your Honor. And the
Articles of
elections in 2007.
and then the election in 2007. Yes.
Yes, and I'm just asking the witness
Oh.
when she said that there were significant amounts pertaining to a significant event, what are these amounts? I think that's very clear.
Yeah.
In fact, the witness has not said the question is vague.
Let the witness answer.
Yes, sir. In May 12, there was a
May 12 when, Your Honor?
2014. No, rather 2004. There was a deposit of 500. Where is my? I had a deposit of 500,000 at the Bank of PI Acropolis on May 14, 2004.
That was
Yes,
dollars.
we're all talking of dollars.
All right, thank you.
Dollar is spokening, in other words. On May 14, there was a deposit of $500,000.
May I ask this question to clarify? Just so, is there any showing who made the deposit into that?
There is none, Your
Deposit
Honor.
account.
Maybe it's only the banks which can determine who
And the
made the
records
deposit.
of the bank would show.
Maybe, Your Honor.
By the way, are these deposit accounts interest-bearing deposits?
I suppose so, Your Honor.
And there must
Some
be
are
a
interest-
record of withholding of the 20% final tax.
The bank would be able to enlighten us on the matter, Your Honor, because we have no documents to back up this record of transactions.
Yes, please go ahead.
Then, yes, I'm looking at 2007. Can I have my magnifying lens? On 2007, on May 3, there was a deposit of 293,645.23 at the Bank of Philippine Islands in San Francisco del Monte. On May 3,
By the way, do we know the exchange rate at that time, madam? If these are in dollars,
I
what
don't
would be
know,
their
Your Honor.
equivalent amounts in pesos?
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know, Your Honor, but I think at the time the exchange rate was much higher than the present rate of exchange now. All right. On May 3, 2007, there was a deposit at the BPI against San Francisco Del Monte branch in the amount of 25,039.0. No, rather.
Can you say that again, Madam? 25,000? 250,000.
Where are we? On May 3, 2007, there was a deposit of 27,039.80 at the Bank of Philippine Islands, San Francisco Del Monte. On May 3 again, there was a deposit of 134,603.28 again at the BPI, San Francisco Del Monte. On May 3, there was a deposit of 63,345.61 at the BPI SFDM. And on, again, May 3, there was a deposit of 53,572.71 at the same bank in BPI San Francisco Del Monte. Again, on May 5, still the same. No. It's not May 5. There are simply two minute to be read by the naked eye, although I already have. No. On May 3, there was still the same May 3, there was a deposit of 15,083.83 at the BPI San Francisco Del Monte branch. And that's all, Your Honor.
How about for the December 2011 period? You already mentioned how much? 769,681.
All right. This is a conservative estimate of the total funds that were moved during the impeachment week.
Yes, Madam.
On December 12, regular trust fund contribution, placement, investment in the amount of $417,978.80. On December 12 to 13, there was an encashment converted to pesos, 135,359.01. On December 13, there was purchase of manager's check, DD/TT, in the amount of 388,771.22. On December 13.
What is that, dollars, pesos?
We are still speaking of dollars, Your Honor. We did not touch on the peso account because the subpoena limited the document that should be presented with respect to dollar accounts. On December 13, still the same December 13, subtracted from account number 15880213886 reflected as debit memo, credit transaction was not provided in the amount of 12,888.67 is reflected. On December 15, securities were sold in the amount of $465,000. On December 15, there was a debit memo from an account and it totals 72,029.33. On December 15, there was a withdrawal from the same account, $343,192.62. On still December 15, there was an excess of credits still in the same account in the amount of $4,459.76. On December 19, there was purchase of manager's check, DD/TT, in the amount of $487,998.09. On December 19, there was excess of deposits in a different account in the amount of 22,998.09. And on December 20, there were debit memos from a different account in the amount of $687,648.55. So, the total remittance in December, we add this to the outward remittance of 350,000 US dollars would give a total of 3,388,323.14 dollars.
Can you tell us, Madam Ombudsman, which banks were involved in these withdrawals?
This is Allied Banking, ABC.
Just one bank,
It's, BPI
BPI and Allied Bank.
and PS, Philippine
so-
Savings.
It's PS Bank,
It's over there.
Allied Bank, and BPI.
Yes, Your Honor.
So 3 banks.
Yes, Your Honor.
And these withdrawals took place from December 12 to December 20.
22, it says
22.
here.
I asked yesterday the Commissioner Mendoza if they did a study of the peso accounts of the Chief Justice, and you're now saying you did not.
There was actually a study of the peso accounts, but since the subpoena limited the production of documents bearing on the dollar accounts, we just brought documents bearing on the dollar accounts.
So you do not have with you, Madam, your records regarding the peso accounts, or do you have them with you?
It is reflected in the same document that we
Yes.
sourced from the AMLAC.
Do you have any summary of the highlights of the peso accounts?
I did not bring it with me, Your Honor.
Thank you, thank you. If Your Honor, please may we ask for leave for the Ombudsman to bring the data and the summaries of the peso accounts?
Yeah. Are you going to make the Ombudsman your witness?
No, just a reservation, Your Honor, please. Just a reservation.
He is now on cross, Your Honor.
You are on cross-examination. Remember, you are on cross-examination.
All right.
And I think you know the rules. If you want to convert the Ombudsman as your witness and require the presentation of documents, then you have to do the necessary motions.
I withdraw that, Your Honor, please.
All right.
May I proceed?
Withdraw.
Madam Witness, you earlier said that you received 3 complaints from Risa Barakel, Hontiveros, Walden Bello, etc. Do you confirm that?
Yes, Your Honor.
After you received the complaints, what did you do?
First, when I received the first complaints, I evaluated it, and I thought that, again, I said that yesterday, I would refer the complaints to the AMLAC in light of my impression that some of the charges were within the jurisdiction of the AMLAC.
When you refer the matter for assistance from the AMLAC, did you do this in writing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, I have.
May I see it, please?
Witness showing. Sabi mo.
For the record, the Madam Ombudsman has given me a letter dated 21 February 2012 under the letterhead of the Ombudsman, apparently duly signed by the Ombudsman herself, addressed to Amando M. Titanco Jr., Chairman, Anti-Money Laundering Council.
Let me explain that. That was the first letter I sent to the AMLAC.
May we request that this be marked as, Madam, you have a certified true copy.
May we be allowed to see the document being referred to, Your Honor, before
Granted.
any further
It's already certified.
Sorry.
Show it to the
Before
defense
any
counsel.
question is further propounded to the witness, Your Honor.
May we request that this certified true copy of the said February 21, 2012 letter be marked as Exhibit 11Z.
Mark it accordingly.
Aside from this letter to the AMLAC, you mentioned that you wrote a second letter, Madam
Yes,
Ombudsman.
that's right, Your Honor. I
On what
wrote
date?
a letter on February 24, 2012.
Do you have a copy of that, certified
Yes, I
true
have.
copy?
February 24. Yes.
Witness has handed to counsel a letter dated February 24, 2012, likewise under the letterhead of the Office of the Ombudsman, signed by the Ombudsman, addressed to Amando M. Titanco Jr., Chairman, Anti-Money Laundering Council. And there's a stamped certified true copy of the original on file. May we ask that this letter be marked as 12A?
Mark it accordingly.
Winston, can you show a copy to them? Madam Ombudsman, may I ask, why did you write these letters to the AMLAC?
Well, first, under Section 26 of the Ombudsman Act, I am authorized to seek the assistance of other government agencies. Secondly, the Chief Justice himself authorized the Ombudsman in his SALN to determine from other government agencies any assets, any properties, liabilities, net worth, or business interest from the time he joined the government up to the present. And so that was the clincher. I thought I should write a letter to the AMLAC in order to seek help for any assistance or for any documents that have a bearing on the charges against the Chief Justice.
What information did you expect to obtain from the AMLAC? Why the AMLAC?
Well, because if you read the complaint, there were some slanting about violation of anti-money laundering law.
Yes.
And in light of the fact that there was also a charge on unexplained wealth, I thought that I probably could gather from the AMLAC certain bank transactions. You see, well, I'm sorry, I will not add
Yes.
to that.
As a former Justice of the Supreme Court and the present Ombudsman of the Republic of the Philippines, I presume that you're fairly familiar with the law on AMLAC.
Well, what particular aspect of the law are you asking me to be familiar with?
Could you tell us what is the basic responsibility or function of the
Banks are
AMLAC?
supposed to report to the AMLAC any transactions more than 500,000. In other words, 500,000 plus
Pesos.
pesos, right?
Pesos.
Yes, which is called a covered transaction.
Yes.
Now, the banks are obligated to inform the AMLAC about these covered transactions, 500 plus thousand pesos.
Aside from covered transactions of 500,000 pesos and more, are there any other transactions under the AMLA law which the banks are required to forward or send to the
Were
AMLAC?
suspicious transactions.
What are suspicious transactions, Madam?
Oh, well, let me read it from the
Yes, please.
from the law. Suspicious transactions are transactions covered or with covered institutions regardless of the amounts involved, where any of the following circumstances exist. No underlying legal or trade obligation. The client is not properly identified. The amount involved is not commensurate the business or financial capacity of the client, etc., among other things, any circumstance relating to the transaction which is observed to deviate from the profile of the client and or the client's past transactions with the covered bank, among others, inter alia.
So under the law, the covered banks are required
Covered
to
transactions,
cover transactions and suspicious transactions to the AMLAC.
yes.
So the data and the information pertaining to the accounts come from the banks but are forwarded to the AMLAC.
That is supposed to be the case.
And what would these information include? Would you know?
I said the suspicious
No.
transactions.
Account number, the name.
Yes, that's right. The date of the transactions, the nature of the transactions.
After you wrote the AMLAC these two letters, was there any response to your letters by the AMLAC?
Yes, there was.
What was it, Madam?
They forwarded to me this 17-page document as well as the 4-page summary of the transactions.
I mentioned this yesterday. May I ask it again? There was an initial on each page
Yes.
of the report of the
Yes.
AMLAC. Do you recall or would you know whose initial that
The
is?
one who was in charge of bank analysis, bank records analysis.
Would you know who are the members of the AMLAC Council?
Well, that is provided for by law, Your Honor. It's very
I'm
specific.
asking the specific identification.
Well, but that is not the question. May the question be clarified,
Who
Your
are the
Honor.
present?
Yes, who are the present
the question.
council members?
I think the chair is Chairman Tatanco, the governor of the central bank, and
Objection has been
members.
sustained, Your Honor, and the witness continues to answer.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
I already reformed the question. What are the names of the present members of AMLAC?
All right.
No, I know. I heard, hindi ko alam. It's the chair is the central bank governor, and the members are the Securities and Exchange Commission Chair, Tessie Arbosa, and the Insurance Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Madam. May I ask counsel to stop saying things while the witness is testifying? Who is
I was not
coaching the
coaching.
witness?
What's the problem?
Anyway,
We were hearing that, Your Honor, but we do not want to pester the witness on this stand with whatever suspicion we may have. We just kept quiet, but we had been hearing, Your Honor, dictation
I cannot
from
be
somewhere.
expected to remember everything that is here.
That's not the point, Madam Ombudsman. The question is whether there were really apparent coaching, Your Honor. And we did not bring that into the
They were
open,
not
Your
coaching
Honor.
me.
Anyway.
He was just reminding me.
Well, anyway.
So you're not being coached, you're only being reminded.
Yes, because as I said, I cannot be expected to remember everything given the documents, the volume of paperwork.
Madam
that I
Ombudsman,
wrote.
Anyway, these are public officials.
Yes.
They could come under the official notice of this court. So,
Yes.
yes, Your Honor, please.
is there any doubt about the identities of these people?
No, Your Honor. In fact, we even made the suggestion that the law specifically named them.
Correct, but
Does the law mention the name of Saite Tango?
But that's not necessary for our purposes, Your Honor, because
It is.
it's not an issue.
wait a minute.
It's not
The
an issue.
law states the position.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, but I think the counsel, the gentleman from the prosecution, is asking
The
the
name.
identities of the present persons composing the Money Laundering Commission. And that's a proper question. It does not handle your case. It's a question of who are the members of the Money Laundering Commission.
The present members, Your Honor, by names.
Yes.
All right.
We
have no
the ombudsman may answer the question if she knows them.
Already answered, Your Honor, but I can repeat it.
It's already answered.
The chairman is the governor of the central bank, and the members are the Securities and Exchange Commission Chair, Teresita Herbosa, or Teresa, and the Insurance Commissioner.
All right, go ahead, please.
Thank you. So, under the AMLA, banks are mandated to forward data and information regarding covered and suspicious transactions to the AMLAC.
Admitted, Your Honor.
That is by law.
By
Yes,
law.
it's a preliminary question, Your Honor.
All right, that's a matter of law.
I was just... Now, last night, and up to this morning, Madam Ombudsman, the Chief Justice has been telling the media that the data information given to you by AMLAC is a hoax, it's a lantern of lies, it's phony. What can you say about that?
No basis, Your Honor. There is no evidence on record showing that kind of a statement from the part of the Chief Justice. If there is, then he who alleges that there was should take the stand and be cross-examined, Your Honor, to determine the accuracy, the correctness, and the veracity of the statement. Your Honor.
Let the Ombudsman answer Sinos.
Thank you, Mr. President. What can you say about those charges by the Chief Justice?
If indeed he made those charges, what I can say is that there are just other lanterns of lies. He says, these are lantern of lies. These are lantern of lies as far as his statements are concerned, because these documents were delivered to me by the executive director of the AMLAC.
Who is the executive director of the AMLAC?
It was answered yesterday. It's Vic Aquino.
Vic Aquino. If your allegations regarding the accuracy and authenticity of these AMLAC documents are being questioned, what would be the best evidence of the data and information regarding Chief Justice Corona's accounts in the banks?
Well,
Improper, Your Honor.
Are you
Material.
asking the opinion of the Ombudsman?
Yes, Your Honor.
That is what. That's why we object.
What could be the best
On that
evidence?
ground, Your Honor.
What is the purpose of that question, Counsel?
I want to establish, Your Honor, that the best evidence would be the Chief Justice's accounts.
That is your opinion, but
And
that
he refuses to open his accounts.
that is your opinion. We are objecting, Your Honor. May we be heard in connection therewith, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Thank you, Your Honor. The defense has questioned, Madam Ombudsman, the validity and authority of the Office of the Ombudsman with respect to your actions on this investigation. What can you say about that?
well, I think I've already made myself clear. I am mandated by the Constitution to investigate public officials, to determine whether their actions are inefficient, irregular, improper, and the like. Second, there's the Ombudsman law, which echoes the constitutional provision to investigate. And the Ombudsman law, in fact, adds that the Ombudsman can prosecute.
Thank you, Madam Witness.
And on top of that, of course, as I said earlier, the Chief Justice, in his statement of assets and liabilities, had authorized me to seek the help of agencies, including the BIR, to determine whether there are properties, assets, liabilities, net worth, business interests, and the like. So, from the time he joined the government, as well as the interests of his family. To me, that is a blanket authority
Thank you.
for me.
You
to conduct
earlier mentioned
investigation.
that you created a panel
That's right.
to investigate the
That's
complaints. Did you give any written order or resolution to empanel this investigation group?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a copy of that?
I issued an order. Yes. Can I have a copy of the order? Witness? Office Order 100, and it was issued by me on February 22, 2012. I constituted a panel of investigators consisting of 1 chair and 5 members. I directed them to conduct fact-finding investigation on the complaint filed by Risa Intiveros, Roberto Alerosa, Gibby Gores, Harvey K., and Albert Concepcion against Chief Justice Renato C. Corona for alleged numerous violations of the provisions of RA 3019, RA 1379, RA 9194, and etc., and docketed as CPL number so-and-so, and to submit its report.
The witness has handed to counsel an office order number 100, series of 2012, under the letterhead of the Office of the Ombudsman, duly signed by the Ombudsman, and this is a certified true copy, the contents of which were just read by the witness. May we ask that this be marked as Exhibit 12B?
Mark it accordingly.
Would you know if the panel did conduct an investigation?
Yes, sir.
Can you briefly tell us how they went about conducting the investigation?
Well, they subpoenaed certain officials of the government
Thank you. Salamat.
for documents
Salamat.
that would have